everyone. Um, Today we're flying the new Su30 module and revisiting the old instant action mission for the Su-27 called Bomber Intercept. It's one of my favorite missions. And I've changed the mission a little bit. So we're obviously flying the Su-30s and we're loaded up for bear. We have the brand new R-77Ms. And those are Fox3 missiles, and we also have the 4 R-73s, and our opponents are a pair of F-5s escorting the first strike group, 2 B-52s, and then the second wave is where I made changes as well. Instead of only 2 Vipers, now there are 4 Vipers, and instead of only 2 F-4s, there are 4 F-4s. And here we are engaging the F-5s in the first strike group. So I shot an R-77 at the first R-5, but because the targets on the HUD are so closely spaced when they're flying formation, it's difficult to track them separately. So I switched. I waited until the first one went down, and then I fired off the second R-77. I just switched to R-73 because the distance is now pretty close. I'm actually getting ready to evade any missiles he will shoot at me, but fortunately that wasn't necessary. The second F-5 is down, so now I'm going to tell my flight to engage the bandits. Basically, there's only 2 unprotected B-52s now, and my wingman is going to take them out with R-77s. I'm going to save the rest of my R-77, so here's one of the R-77s just shot. And here's the second one. So it's actually nice to see those missiles on their way. And my wingman's down below. So as he's engaging the 2 B-52s, I don't think he needs my help. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn basically northwest and head away from the engagement area. And the reason is because the next wave, where the Vipers and the F-4s are, is much more dangerous, and I want to put some separation between me, my wingman, and that strike group, that second strike group. So as I said, that strike group has been modified. Instead of only having a pair of Vipers and a pair of F-4s, now there are 4 Vipers, each carrying 6 AIM-120Cs and a pair of AIM-9Ms. And the F-4s, there are 4 of them. Each one carries 4 AIM-7s and 4 AIM-9Ms. So that's a lot of missiles. There's only 2 of us. We're supposed to stop the bombers. The bombers are on their way to bomb Beslan Airbase, I believe. So our ultimate goal is to splash the 2 B-52s. But of course, we can't do that without engaging the escort fighters. And this second group has basically 8 fighters onto the teeth. So I'm climbing for altitude, keeping my airspeed up. And I just got the AWACS call that the second strike group is coming in. So we should have enough separation. I'm going to turn in now. I'm going to tell my wingman to engage the bandits. And his AI, essentially every plane, friendly and enemy AI, is set to veteran level. So I'm gonna tell my wingman to engage the bandits, and by default he goes for the closest target. And in this case, that's gonna be the F-4, so he's gonna go after the F-4s and the bombers. And I'm gonna engage the F-16s because they are the primary threat with those long-distance Fox3 AIM-1Cs, 120Cs. So unfortunately, they're flying a pretty tight formation, so I can only pick at the edges. I'm gonna start shooting off in 7s until I'm probably fire 2 or 3 of them, and then I'm gonna have to dive down for the deck because I'm sure they're gonna shoot a few AIM-120Cs at me. Hopefully we'll survive, and then once we're close, we'll see what happens. So I'm picking off a few that I think are the F-16s and shooting off a few R-77Ms. And here's the first one splashed. And now they have me locked up, and there's an AIM-120C, at least one of them in the air, coming after me. I'm going to go deep down, keeping 90 degrees, in the notch, shooting off flare. And now I'm going to maneuver hard, extending down into thicker air. And as I do, the warning goes off. I'm going to maneuver a little bit more just to make sure. And now I think those F-16s have been splashed. Now I'm going head to head with those F-4s. And I think my wingman must have splashed one of them. I think only see 3 of them. So I'm going to take a shot at the lead one. I have no idea why they haven't fired their AIM-7Ms. The second one is going off to the right, and he's close enough. I think I can pick him up. Yeah, so there's one F4 down. The second guy is going off to the right. I think I can pick him off with a helmet. So I'm going to take him out with an R-73. We're pretty close. He's flaring now. At this range, that's not going to help him. And he takes an R-73. Somebody just flew right over me, shooting flares off. I don't think that was my wingman. I'm not sure who that was. May have been 3rd F4, may have been the guy that I shot up, but I don't see him trailing smoke or anything. He's going down though. I don't know. It's probably worthwhile taking an extra shot, being that there's only 1 or 2 F4s left. Let's take a shot just in case. Give him a 73. I don't know if that's tracking. I guess it is. Don't know what happened. Either way, I think he's down. So I still have a warning that there's one more bandit. And there he is. So there are 2 of them. One of them is my wingman, clearly friendly. The other one is the bandit, so I'm going to try to find him and help my buddy. So there he is. I think that's the F4. So he's sort of medium distance, far enough so I can't get him with the helmet. And I think I can pick him up on the radar. Or not. So I'm switching back to helmet mode, and now I have him locked up. I'm going to give him an R-77, the last one I have. And at this distance, that should be a sure kill. He's diving for a deck, but it's too late. He just got splashed. And down below is my wingman, and he flies right under me. And he's going to take up formation behind me. So I think that's done. So the 2 bomber formations have been splashed along with the fighter escorts. So now we're gonna head back. I'm gonna call the AWAC just in case, make sure that there are no boggies around. It looks clear. So we're gonna head back to base, but on the way back to base, there's a tanker. So we're gonna practice some tanking up, air-to-air refueling. So I'm going to have my wingman fly on my side, and we're going to find that tanker. And the tanker is set up so that he flies basically in a straight line up and down between Beslan and Mozdok. So he's going to be fairly easy to find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock him up, but I'm going to make sure that I set my master switch to off. I don't want to accidentally take him out. So I'm just going to lock him up and get to him, and then I'll tell my wingman to get some fuel as well. So I'm going to speed up the video here, and just going twice the video speed just to get through the boring parts, just flying around. So here we are, enjoying the beautiful view, sort of relaxing flight after the engagement. My wingman's flying echelon back behind me. To the left, there he is. Beautiful contrails above those clouds, butterflies all over, and the mountains down below. It's just amazing. So now, we should be getting up close to the tanker. Off in the distance you can see the airlock plane. He's flying a circular pattern, just tracking targets for us. He's invaluable for providing us a picture for the engagement. And my wingman just switched to line of rest formation. He's flying out to my right. There's that AWACS wing. Off in the distance, everybody's leaving these beautiful contrails in the clear sky. Those puffy clouds below us. It's really enjoyable. The tanker's down below. He's flying at about 16,000 feet, about 5,000 meters. So I just called him up and I called him to refuel. And he told me to announce pre-contact once we're close. So we're going to fly above him, and then we're going to dive down on him and get some fuel. And the tanker just flew, the AWACS just flew right in front of us. I'm just enjoying the view of those contrails, my wingman and the AWACS. Starting to reduce my airspeed, starting to reduce my altitude, because we're coming up on the tanker. I don't want to call out pre-contact yet. Instead, I'm going to call my wingman and I'm going to tell him to fly to the tanker and get some fuel himself. So there's the tanker down below. And I'm going to dive on him. I'm going to extend my air brake. And I want to put myself close enough behind him so I don't have to play catch up for very long. I sort of misjudged my distance. I could have come up a little bit closer, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna push forward a little bit and then I'm gonna call pre-contact. I didn't hear my wingman call pre-contact. I'm not supposed to. I guess I'm not supposed to or something. Just gonna wait until I get a little closer. I have the tanker targeted, so I just switched that off. I don't want to give the poor guy a heart attack. So my master arm switch is turned off anyway. So I see the tanker is dragging the refueling hose. So on the left, so I think that's where we're gonna go. Of course, I need to first extend my refueling probe. There it is, coming up. And now we're going to call the tanker and call pre-contact. Tanker okays me, but now he extends the right-hand hose. So I'm not really sure if the left-hand hose was meant for me or maybe it was meant for my wingman. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the right and I'm going to actually line up on the right hose rather than the left, because I don't want to hook up and then have my stupid wingman come in and nail me from behind. So I'm just going to hook up on the right. So here we go. Most fumble. I'm going to call pre-contact again and I'm going to hook up. Now comes the fun. So I have to say that the Su30, probably because of the simplified flight mode model or the SFM, it's very easy, very easy to hook up and keep it up. It doesn't dance up and down with the application of throttle the way the A4 or the F-18 does. It's just very stable, Just keep it straight, slight application of throttle just to get it moving forward a little, and she hooks right in. So as you can see, slow and steady, just a grip of throttle here and there, and we're in. So we're going to take up some gas. We're at about 5 now. The Su30 takes about 9.5 for a full tank, so we're about on a half tank. We have plenty of fuel. I just checked where my wingman is, and that was a mistake because I lost my concentration and disconnected. So we're going to have to hook up again. But we have plenty of fuel to make it back to base. We're only about maybe 80 kilometers away. But this is just more for practice. So let's hook up. And this time let's try to keep it in there. So I'm going to speed up the video now. Sort of through the long boring process of refueling. In the meantime, my wingman is going to hook up and get some fuel himself. So I'm going to periodically glance at him, just like I did now, to the left, then glance down to the right to see how my fuel state is. And basically try to keep my distance in flight formation with the tanker, which again is much easier compared to most other modules in DCS. So my wingman is still there, taking out fuel, and we're doing good. A little bit more, and now we're pretty much done. So going back to normal speed on the video, and the tanker just told me that I'm full and disconnected. Here's my wingman, great view as he's taking his own fuel. So I'm going to fly formation with the tanker and the SU. Going to retract my probe. I'm going to fly on the right wing here. Stay basically there until tanks up. Just enjoying the view. Waiting for him to finish. So here we go. I'm gonna get a little closer. Let's get a better view of everybody. Practice my formation skills. My wingman should be getting ready to get in. And what well, my wingman decided to take a shortcut and basically took out the tail of the tanker. You saw all those parachutes dropping down. Even more funny, the wingman, who actually went with his nose right through the tail of the tanker, didn't suffer any damage. So I told him to get up on my tail and follow me back home. So as we did, you know, we're close to Mozdok now. I'm set up, landing gear down, flaps down, getting ready to land. I'm on a short final. I'm looking around for my wingman. And then he tells me that he's got bingo fuel, which is impossible because he was tanking up for as long as I did, so he should be at full tank. And then he says I'm ejecting. So my guess is he was just too scared to face the court-martial for the loss of that tanker. But now he's going to face the court-martial for the loss of the tanker and his Su30. He should have just gone down with a plane or something, or jumped. Either way, I wish him well. I hope he makes it back to base and they're not too hard on him. I hear there are some cushy jobs at the Gulag he can get. In the meantime, we're lining up on final and we're down and safe. Nose is still up. We're gonna drop the parachutes behind us, the drogue chutes. There they are, and that beautiful Su30 coming down. You know, interesting mission. See you guys in the next video.